Hi everyone, today it's day 5 of the Strike Back videoathon videos, and today's one is sequels I want to read. Now, probably unwisely, there's no limit on this and there's no genre specification or anything, so we could go wild today, but I'm going to try and keep it short because I know people are binge watching these videos, so if I keep it short, you don't get bored. So, first up, I'm going to start with the 2 physical sequels I have in the house. The first one is A Closed Uncommon Orbit by Becky Chambers. This is like 2.1 because it's not a direct sequel, but it does follow 2 of the characters from A Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. And I'm really looking forward to reading this because one of the characters in here I really liked from the first story, so I'm interested to see how her story is developed and how things now take a different turn because obviously she's in a different situation. And then the Skullduggery Pleasant book 4, this is Dark Days. Can't tell you anything about the previous book because huge massive spoilers. Needless to say, this is going to follow on from big events that have happened in the previous book, the Faceless Ones, and I want to see how things are resolved from that conclusion. And you might start spotting a theme of the other sequels I want to read. Pretty much all of these are now Fairy Loot books that are from last year, and their sequels are coming out this year. So the first sequel I want to get my hands on is Legendary by Stephanie Garber. This is a sequel to Caravel, which everybody was raving about last year. I got my hands on a copy, really enjoyed it. Apparently it's very much like The Night Circus. Now, I've not read The Night Circus, but if you have read The Night Circus, you'll find very similar themes in Caravel. But Legendary is going to follow on from the events in Caravel and hopefully give us more answers. I've no idea if it's a duology or a trilogy. I'm just going to go for the story. The next sequel I want to get my hands on is Blood of a Thousand Stars by Rhonda Berzella. This is the sequel to Empress of a Thousand Skies, also a Fairy Loot book. This is a YA sci-fi survival kind of story with lots of secrets and conspiracies going on. There's a little bit of romance, but that's not the main thrust of the plot. And there are lots of lies that need to be unravelled. And I really enjoyed it. It was a good fun ride. It felt very much like a traditional sci-fi story. Lots of the tools that are used within this story to set up the world was very much of those classic sci-fi stories from the 50s and 60s. I really enjoyed it. It's not to everybody's taste, but there you go. Next book is Rage by Cora Carmack. This is the sequel to Raw. This follows the story of a young girl who has to discover who she is, what she is and what she can do, and I really enjoyed this whole world building aspect in here. It's very much a fantasy contained story, very clever, interesting characters and a good use of magic and elemental skill. Then there's Given to the Earth. This is by Mindy McGuinness, sequel to Given to the Sea. I really liked how this story, it's a YA fantasy, but it's told from 4 different perspectives, so there's not ever a good side or a bad side. Everybody has good and bad motives for what they do, and I found that really interesting. The first book focuses very much on the sea element of this world, so I'm hoping the sequel will be looking more at the earth element and the other side of the magic that is involved in this story. To finish off with the Fairy Loot books, Strange the Dreamer came out last year. This is by Lani Taylor. People know how I feel about this book, but the sequel is possibly coming out later this year, Muse of Nightmares. There is no guarantee on that, so we're just having to wait and see if we get a publication release date. Then there's Cornelia Funk's Reckless series. This is book 3, The Golden Yarn. I have book 1, The Petrified Flesh, and I have read book 2 as well. I just want to see how this trilogy finishes off because I really like the storytelling in it and the idea of twisting fairy tales, and that actually fairy tales and magic aren't as good as they're portrayed. And it's more of a reminder of the dark side of the Grimm fairy tales rather than the Disney cleaner side, as it were. But I really enjoyed that series, so I want to finish it. And then finally there's Down Among the Sticks and Bones. This is by Shona Maguire. This is a sequel to Every Heart a Doorway, which I finished the other night. I find this such a quick read. It's only a short book, but it was a really interesting look at children who have slipped through into other worlds, but this follows what happens when they come back and how they deal with it, and I really enjoyed it. I have heard that Down Among the Sticks and Bones is technically a prequel, so I'm hoping we're going to follow one of the main characters from the other book and find out her story in the other world that she went to. But I'm just going to wait and see. And the third one in the series comes out later this year, Beneath the Sugar Sky, and I'm kind of hoping that's going to follow another character from the first book and their story. So that's all the sequels I want to read that are hopefully coming out this year. Certainly all but one is coming out this year, and some of them are already out, so that's pretty cool. I don't have huge years of waiting. But the whole point of the Strike Back Videoathon is to shout out to another smaller booktuber out there. So today's one is going to be Alex's Fiction Addiction. I've recently subscribed to her and I found her really interesting, easy to listen to person, talking about all things fiction. She doesn't just do books, she does films as well. So it's anything within the storytelling realm. So if you're interested in other things that tell stories, she might be a person to go and check out for you. Go and subscribe, watch some videos and give us some love, please. I will also leave links to other booktubers and book bloggers down in the description box, and if you keep scrolling past that, you'll find my book blog and my social media links as well. So, you know, come and say hi, that'd be great. I just want to say thank you very much to everyone who's recently subscribed to me. I've just passed my 100 subscribers mark, which I never thought I would do. So I'm really, really happy and very thankful to everyone, and it's nice to see you all coming over and loving my work. So thank you very much. As always, please leave me comments down below. Let me know your sequels you want to read this year. Leave me links to your videos as well. I will go and find them in the spam box. Don't worry about that silly rule that YouTube has. And as always, thank you very much for watching and happy reading. Bye!